welcome to this week's edition of The Olive Tree with me, Julia Fisher. My guest today is an Israeli Arab called Bishara Deeb. He and his wife live in northern Israel, and their story vividly illustrates some of what God is doing in Israel today. I first met Bishara a few years ago when he was studying as a mature student at a Bible college in Nazareth, having left his family business. In other words, he had given up a lot to go there. So I asked him, why did he do that?
The story starts when I became a believer, and I have this heart to do evangelism all the time. And I haven't full time to do it. I was so eager to start do evangelism. So I start praying for the Lord to give me this opportunity. Now, in that time, I had a grocery shop business, and this kind of work stopped me to do evangelism in full time. My prayer was that God will allow for me in any kind of opportunity to start to do evangelism. And His wisdom, He started do it with me step by step, and He opened my eyes to see some ways of evangelism, even during the business and this full time of being busy with the business. And in some point, also, He showed me that I should stop this business. So this is what happened actually, and I stopped the business and went to the college in the same year and started there my Bible study. Yeah.
That was a big jump, wasn't it, to give up the family business, to give up your income, really, and step out and go full-time to the Bible college.
Yes.
What did your
True.
wife think about it?
Actually, my wife was so surprised for me to tell her that I'm going to stop my business, and she looked at me like, "Are you lost your mind?" Something like that, because we have three daughters, in that time, and two of them was ready to go to college, and of course they need a lot of money. And Israel is a very expensive place to live in. So all these things and the family need let her be very surprised from my saying that I'm going to finish my job. I was sure about what I'm saying because it come from the Lord, not from me. But I gave her the time to pray and to see if I'm right in what I am saying. It's take her 6 months, and after many prayers, she came to me and she said, "Yeah, now I am sure that what you are saying is from the Lord. Let's do it." And we did it.
Let's just put your life in context now. You're living just outside of Nazareth. This is where you have been for many, many years. Were you born and brought up in the area?
I born up, yeah, and I born in Nazareth, and I raised up in Nazareth. Me and my wife in the same place almost.
So you went to Bible college. How did things develop? You were there for 2 or 3 years. What happened after that?
In this college, I met some Sudanese student, and in that time I talk about 2009. Uh, we had in Israel some issues with the Sudanese refugees. Many of them run from Sudan to Egypt, and from Egypt to the borders of Israel and come inside. And they went, or they sent them actually to Tel Aviv to live there in some park outside. And some of these Christian refugees start study in the college. When one day I was talking with them and pray with them, and I asked them, what kind of help can I do or can I give? And they said, come with us and visit our brothers and sisters, the Sudanese in Tel Aviv, and you can see what the need there. And actually, I went there one day with them, and I saw a lot of need. First, it was very uh, special need, which is we all know about the spiritual one, and then the material one. And I started go and visit Tel Aviv in that kind of ministry to preach the gospel there among them and to bring some subtitles which people gave me, like food or clothes or kind of these things.
And after that?
After that, what happened that when I went to Tel Aviv and I start drive there, I had to go in the freeway and in highway, sorry, and in that direction, I saw a very very poor village in my right hand, and I start wonder what kind of village this, because it was very rare to see as this village in its poorness in Israel. And I drive forward and back, and all the time. And the first time it was in my right hand. When I come back to Nazareth, it was in my left hand. And all the time I look at it and wonder what's the name of this village, who is live there, and how can I pray for it. And after some months, I decide to go on and to park there in that village and to walk. And I had this happen that I walk with prayers and I start walk and pray for this village. I don't know the name of it now. I don't know anyone there, but I feel the burden in my heart to pray for them. And
I can remember
yes,
going there with you, Bishara, and you told me the
yes,
first time you wondered how you were ever going to get there because it's situated between two busy roads. And you weren't
exactly.
quite sure how to get into it, were you?
Yes, because when I drive in the highway, as I said, in my right hand there is a wall that you cannot, pass it and jump on it,
Mm.
over it. And when I come back to Nazareth, it's the same, it's the same wall. So I start wonder how they go to this village. And now I don't know why it's taken me 2 months or 3 months to figure it out. It was so easy just to go to Google it and to find the way for this village. I don't know why I didn't do it, but after 2 months, it suddenly come to my mind. Okay, let's figure it out and find how we can go in this village. And I found the way. And as I said, I went there for the first time.
Now, what was your first reaction to walking into that village?
I remember sadness. I was very sad. I walked there and I look at the houses, I look at the people, and I was very sad that this people in this situation. My question was why? Why they should be in this situation? Why they
Was it
have
very
to be in
poor?
this? Poor, yeah, uh, and it's more like they are lost. There is nobody help them, nobody take care about them. It's not just poorness; it's something more than poorness, which include the kind of lostness. They have no way, they have no hope, they have no nothing, and this is the first feeling that I received.
And was it an entirely Islamic village? Is it an entirely Islamic village?
Yes, yes, they are Islamic village. Actually, there is two stories about the village and what kind of people who live there. the first story said that these people are not Palestinians. They are not narrative from the land. They came to the land through ship, which is broken, and they had to swim. And the story said that it could be, and they was slaves from Africa in some place, and for some reason the ship was broken, and they swim to that location and stay there. The other one said that they are workers for some Jewish people in the fields, and they allowed for them to stay there and to build their houses. And both of the stories, you can see the element of uh, people who are not in their faces or in their looking, they are not belong to the land in some way. They are strange from the land.
You've been listening to Bishara Deeb, an Israeli Arab believer in northern Israel, sharing the unfolding story of his life. And we'll hear more from him on next week's programme. The Olive Tree Reconciliation Fund is a Christian charity based in the UK that supports the needs of both Jewish believers and Arab or Palestinian Christians living in Israel and the wider Middle East. If you'd like to know more about our work and receive our free bi-monthly newsletter, please visit our website, olivetreefund.org. Meanwhile, join me at the same time next week for another story from the Olive Tree. Until then, goodbye.